time, and we are on the Dalton and Elliot Highway map, which is a standalone map, and it is a real scale map, so the distances that you see in the game are true to real life. So the job that we're doing at the moment, we are delivering a pressure tank from Fairbanks in Alaska to Prospect Creek, and it's a trip that should take about 9 hours. We're going to get about $3,000 for it. Initially the trip was about 220 odd miles. I've done a few miles. I've just parked up at the side of the road last night, and so for the purposes of this stream, we're just going to do another few miles and see how far we get and see whether the weather changes. At the moment it's nice weather, snowy roads obviously, and I believe it only gets worse the farther north you go, so we will see how things go. I'll get fired up before we go. Right. Right, the weather has changed, and it is the extreme winter map. You can see that the snow is beginning to blow in, so it's not looking good. And we have how far have we got? Let me just change this thing. We've got 190 miles to go, and the weather's not looking good at the moment, so let's fire her up. Get the wipers on. Part of the difficulty here is actually seeing where the bloody road is. Now at this stage on the road, there are no delineators, so there are no marker posts to show you where the road is. Now, having seen the ice road truckers on TV, I do know that there are delineators when you go up the Atigan Pass, but we're a fair number of miles from there. I don't even know whether we'll even get that far. I don't know whether this journey goes that far north. I think the whole map, in fact, let's just look at the map while we're at it. The whole map itself, I think, is over 500 miles long, and it goes right up to Dead Horse, which is, I think, as far north as you can go. And we have a trip that is taking us from Fairbanks up to Prospect Creek. Now, I do believe that, although I don't see it marked on here, I believe the Atigan Pass is a bit further north, so that's a big climb. And I don't think we're going as far north as that, but even so, that would take us a good number of hours to do that. The trip time that is forecast here is another 5 hours to actually complete this trip. Now obviously that depends on the weather and depends on the road conditions, but I don't think we'll make this video 5 hours long, to be honest with you, because I haven't got the time, but we'll carry on and see how we do it. I can assure you it wasn't snowing like this when I parked the truck up last night. And I've already got damage to the truck. I crashed into a post when I was trying to get into a fuel station, basically because I couldn't see it. I'm not even sure I'm in the middle of the road or the wrong side of the road. I've only got the oncoming traffic to judge. I think I'm in the wrong gear as well. Now I've driven a bit of the older version of this map, and certainly the weather mod part of the map is certainly improved, because when you look at the outside view, the snow effects look better. Yeah, the weather looks as if it's closing in bad, but it definitely does look an improvement. Now, where the hell are we going now? Left. And from past experience, this road has quite a few nasty bends, particularly when you're going downhill, and in the past I have actually ran off the road and gone into ditches and stuff like that. So if you want to be an ice road trucker, this is the map to get. Now, as far as I'm aware, this version hasn't been released yet. I just got access to it last night, and I was surprised to actually see it. It was out, so it's obviously been made available to some select people on the ETS gaming group for testing, and fortunately I managed to get it downloaded last night and get it installed. Have I got my lights on? Yes, I do. I can't remember whether the map did go up to Dead Horse in the previous version. And I believe that's what the modder was actually working on, having read the SCS forums. But it looks as if he's got it completed right up to the end. Yeah. So this is for those of you who are not aware or have never seen ice road truckers, this is predominantly, as far as I'm aware, the road that a lot of those ice road truckers use when they're taking goods and equipment up north to the oil fields in northern Alaska, and it's actually become quite a famous road. I'd never heard of the Atigan Pass until I seen the ice road truckers. Yes, it doesn't look very pleasant, does it? So you remember, it's 1-to-1 scale, so there's 188 miles left, and that will take however long it takes to do 188 miles. Now in normal ATS or ETS maps, that would be probably what, 20-25 minutes at the most even to do that sort of mileage. So we're looking at just under 5 hours to get this done. I don't notice a lot of traffic behind me. And it's 11:13 in the morning. So again, the clock goes real time as well. An hour takes an hour. And of course you've got the snow effects coming off the tyres as well. Oh, there's a truck. I think I read that he'd put in, or the modder had put in, a new skybox to give you a different look to the sky, and I can certainly see a difference there as well. Now we're going downhill. Now again, we've got to watch we don't get caught out with these bends. I'm taking it nice and gingerly. Now we're climbing again. And this is another thing as well. This is I think it's a 13-speed, is it a Peterbilt? And you've got to get your gears right, because you can easily just die a death going up these slopes. You can see the snow effects on the screen. That looked quite cool. I believe there is a rumble strip on the inside of the road, which you can occasionally hear if I run over it. I'm trying not to run over it, I'm trying to stay away from it. And it's up and down and up and down, up and down the gears all the time on this route. Of course, those big canisters that I've got in the back of the truck weigh a fair couple of tons, and that adds to the difficulty when climbing. That's me on the rumble strip now. And I've already, as well, I said I had that bit of an accident going into a fuel station, so I've already topped up the tank. We've got a full tank of fuel. I don't know what sort of mileage we'll get out of it, but I'd imagine we would have pretty much enough to get there. Looks as if it's. I can see a bit of. I can see a wee bit of blue sky up there. What's this? This looks like a billboard or something. Another thing I've noticed about the map as well is that a lot of the road signs that you see, they are very small. I basically need to stop the truck to actually read them, and I presume that's reflecting real life as well. They're not very large, especially if they're, you know, the signs that are telling you the miles to the next town. I can't see where the road's going. I'm actually just following the GPS at the moment to look and see where the curve in the road is, because it's quite difficult to see. And I think it's a 55 mile an hour speed limit all the way, certainly for any of the part of the map that I've driven before it has been, but I don't think you really need to pay much attention to that. Now, is it clearing up a bit? Definitely looks to be a bit more blue sky ahead. The anchors on. You're definitely not going to be driving at 80 miles an hour in this and surviving. Well, maybe I built my hopes up a bit too much. It doesn't look that pleasant in that direction. there definitely is too much winter. But that's part of the enjoyment, that's part of the fun. Trying to get there in one piece. So we've got 184 miles to go. And this is just a brand new profile. I've already done, I think I've done 1 or 2 jobs. The first job was only about so many 100 meters from one business to another business in the town, and then I think this is about the 3rd job, which has taken me an appreciable distance, 200 odd miles this time. I'll put the beam on full and see what we get. We're getting a bit too much glare. It's easier to follow the tracks in the road with just the lights on normal. Can't see anything in my rear view mirror, or out the side mirrors I should say. I've got my indicator on. Oh, there's something behind me. Cars. This looks like a rest stop up ahead. I think it is. Now, at the very beginning of this trip, I actually had a prompt to go into the weighing. So not the weighing, the weighing platform, and the problem is I couldn't find it. I had to actually go into the developer camera to actually look for it in the map, because the roads are all snow. It's very difficult to actually find a way into some places. Well, he's disappeared into the distance. I can hardly see him now. You've got to be ready. Certainly in the early part of this route, I know that there's a good few climbs, and I went up and down 1 or 2 of them, but you need to keep your momentum up, because you can easily just stall halfway up. I think I'm speeding a bit now. I'm using my Logitech Driving Force GT wheel, which still works perfectly with the game, touch wood. These weather effects can certainly play tricks with the eyes, because you're staring at the road ahead, you're trying to follow the tracks in the road, and all the time the wipers are flashing across, and you've got the snowflakes and the windscreen, poor visibility up ahead. Now there's something there, I don't know whether that's coming this way or going my direction. There's a big drop here. I think it's a truck up ahead. Too fast. Well, good afternoon, Stwain. My destination. Sorry, I don't get an awful lot of time to read the chat because I'm driving, but I'll show you on the map. My destination is up at Prospect Creek, so I'm actually where the hell am I? Let's see if I can spot myself on the map. There I'm there on the map. So I am down there, and the next sort of town or location that I'm going to go to is Pump Station 7. And so we're up at Prospect Creek is where we're going, up there. Oops, wait, yeah, get this bloody zoom to work properly. That's where we're going, up to there. So I definitely won't be able to do it in this stream. It would take far too long. It's what, 2:35 in the afternoon my time. And it would be about 7 PM my time by the time I get there, unless I can keep up a bit of speed. I doubt that very much. Yeah, I hope I get there as well without too much damage. I've only got $3,000 to get for this trip, and I've already got damage, so I'm going to lose some of my money. Up a bit of speed to try and get up this hill. I think that's a local bus service that's up ahead. The bus is getting up this hill okay, and so are the cars, but the trucks are struggling. Hopefully he doesn't chicken out. It looks as if he is. He's not going to pull in. Well, he's going to have to pull in eventually. Something's going to come in his direction. We'd risk trying to overtake him because we're heading up a hill now. I don't think I will risk it. No, I'm going left now that I'm reading the chat. I'm trying to glance over to see what people are typing from time to time, but I basically need to pause the game so I can do that safely. Well, it's always good to have a vehicle in front of you, because at least you know that if you're following the guy in front, that you're in the proper part of the road. It's once you're on your own, and with the visibility being so bad, it really is hard to see what's happening. This is not a good move. Just barely see the rumble strip on the right hand side there. $175 miles to go. Now, according to what I've read on this map in previous versions, the modder's tried to do it, well, he's done it to real scale, but he's also followed satellite navigation information for the in terms of the lay of the land and the gradients and everything on the road. So he's tried to copy it as true to life as he can. So what we're really saying is all these gradients and bends that we're going up and down and around, they're all what you would see if you were driving the truck on the real road. So that pump station 7 is our next port of call, and goodness knows how many miles away that still is. Again, very few road signs. Now whether or not he has to put more of them in, I don't know, but as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the signs are very small and they're not easy to read. Now, you see the truck nearly jackknifed there because I was going too fast into that bend, and you will lose traction. You most certainly will, which is why I've flown off the road in previous versions. Well, in actual fact, the sky isn't blue. What I've just realised now that you've mentioned it is the actual blue effect that you see on the windscreen is my sun visor shade. The top of the windscreen has got a blue tint to it. So when you look outside from inside the truck, it looks as if there's a blue sky. And oops, hang on a minute. I've lost picture. Hopefully that's us back. When you go outside, you'll see that it isn't blue. If you look at the sky now, well, that's just another commercial, I think. Yeah, I'll go outside again. See, there's no blue sky, it's thick snow clouds that are up above. So it does confuse a little when you think it's blue sky. Now there's a road leading off to the left. You would think there would be a road sign to tell you what it is. Nope, no sign there, other than the speed limit sign. Now it's still given an estimated time of 4 hours 28 minutes. Oops. to do this trip. So that's gone down from 5 hours, and it will keep going up and down as our speed changes. Now we're actually speeding a bit now. Just controlling the speed a bit because we're going into this bend too quick. Now there's blue sky up ahead. Something coming. Have I got enough momentum to get past this guy? This is just another commercial board. I think it's just an advertising hoarding. That's too big to be a road sign. Some cute blonde. Last time I remember driving this part of the road on the previous versions of the map, it was night time and it was a blizzard, and that made it even worse, which is probably another good reason for why I went off the road once or twice. Now we've got a crash barrier. the gears again, just to keep the momentum going. See you later. Right, so how far have we got? 167 miles to go. Big long climb. See, those trucks behind me are catching me up, so I might be in too high a gear, or too low a gear I should say. Yeah, we're picking up a bit more momentum now. gradient, either down or up, one of the two. Almost caught out there. We're sliding again, taking that corner too quick. Well, been streaming for 50 minutes. Oh, and an almost a collision there looking at the monitor. So we're down to, what is it, 100 and, is that 160 or 150 miles? I can't quite see. I'm going to have an accident yet. have a look at the map and see where we are now. Well, I kind of lost track. I thought we were heading towards pump station 7. Maybe we're past it. Where the hell are we? Alright, there we're there. Right, where do we... Pump station 7, right. So that's there. Right, we're already well past it because that pump station 7's down the road to the left. That's why I was wondering why we hadn't passed it. Right, there's an airport which we're probably not going to go past either. $156 miles to go. Well, this looks as if it will certainly take certainly at least 3 streams, I would think, before I've completed this trip. No way I'm going to do this in one go. Now, on the right hand side is now effectively a ditch. I think this is where I've crashed before, because once you get in there you can't drive out of it. You need to be you need to have the game in developer mode so that you can actually just respawn back onto the road. There's no way you'll drive out. snow getting less? I think it might be getting a bit lighter. Yeah, snow's definitely looks as if it's stopping. It definitely is lighter. And that's not a bad thing, that makes it a wee bit easier for me to see what I'm doing. Yeah, the snow's almost done. So it's just gone 12 noon, 12:07. Going for an hour, and I think we've done about 30 miles, 38 miles. It's now saying that we've got approximately 3 hours 56 minutes to go to complete this trip. Got the cruise control working now. Pull away from those trucks behind us, so we're keeping up a good pace without, well, trying not to speed, trying to keep to the limit. watch the speed. Get the cruise control off. Get into some of these bends a bit too quick. Look at the sign. Elliot Highway, Leavenwood, Dalton Highway. Oh, we're going to reverse. So that's the first road sign we've seen in over an hour. Let's look at the map. And the hell's the map gone? Right. So that's Leavenwood Camp. Right, let's see where we are. We're just coming up to that junction. If we can get control of this mouse. There we are there. So that's a way over there. We're not going that direction. We're continuing on up the Dalton, and we've still got a good bit to go. Bit of winter sunshine now. Ice Road Truckers, there we go. You can watch it on the History Channel. build up a bit of speed to try and get up this next climb. Now you see what I mean about the road signs. Right, Dalton Highway, we're on it. Manly's 80 miles that way, and Minto as well. I presume that's miles and not kilometres. James Dalton Highway, we're on it now. There's the delineators. Now what does it say here? Heavy industrial traffic, proceed with caution. Right. Well, we fall into that category. So now we've got the delineators, we can see where the road is. All vehicles drive with lights on for the next 425 miles. So that's right up to Dead Horse, I think. We're not going that far. But we have our lights on. Just got to listen to the gears dying out on you to see if you can find one that will hold. This one seems to be doing it. I can feel the truck slipping. And I think I saw, I think it was the Ice Road Truckers programme I was watching, and I think for the most part the Dalton Highway is essentially a dirt road, but they actually spray it with water in the winter months to actually make the ice road, to actually make the road more solid for the trucks to drive on. So they spray it so it's like a couple inches deep, and it solidifies the surface obviously when the cold weather just moves in. It probably makes it easier to drive on for that reason, rather than it being all rutted and potholes. Well, we're struggling up here. Four-wheel drive vehicles are passing us no problem. And if you don't get the gears at the right time, you'll just die halfway up a crest. and then the problem is you don't have any momentum to get moving. You've got to reverse back down, and the problem with that is you'll get vehicles behind you who won't move out your way. Right, Yukon River 56 mile, Coalport 176, and Dead Horse, which is right at the top of the map, is 414 miles. Right, hang on a minute. Get into the right gear to get moving. Now, what's that sign over there? Dalton Highway, I think it says. I want to have a wee look at it. Where are we? We're underground at the moment. Hang on. Find my way around here. Where is the bloody sign? Right, where's the truck? Right. Slow that down a bit. Welcome to the Dalton Highway. Gateway to the Arctic, the road to Prudhoe Bay. So that's where we are. Well, I must have hit the wrong button. Yeah, I thought I must have hit a button to come out the recording there for some strange reason. I don't know what one I hit, but I think we're back up and running. Oh, it's saying streaming complete again. Now it's saying streaming resumed. Well, there's something funny going on here. It's still showing that the stream's been going on for an hour and 23 minutes, so unless I'm having problems with internet or something, it seems to be okay again. Need to concentrate on what I'm doing here. Got a big climb coming up. Nothing behind us. That gear isn't going to work for us. Down another couple. Down to third. Fourth is struggling. It's getting there. I can't remember whether I read correctly. I think the modder was talking about when you buy your first truck, or when you buy your own truck anyway, I think you're able to buy snow chains for your tyres. I'm not sure, I might have read that wrong, or maybe that was what he intended to do. I don't know whether that's in the game, in the map yet, but it'll be a long while before I ever get to buy a truck. Another big climb coming. Where we are now. Well, we'd passed that point there. And there we are there. And there is nothing else between us and pump station 6. Or is that pump station 8? Pump station 6. And then there's a Yukon River, and then there's a whatever mile airport that is. That's still way short of Prospect Creek. Well, this is too steep. I had to fly right down the gears. Now I'm in second gear and I am almost about to grind to a halt. I think I just made it in time. And there's no way I can change up the gear. I can't go up a gear. If I go up a gear, the truck will just stall. I just need to hold it, hopefully. Until we get over this crest. Well, that was close, because that would have been all the way back down. And that truck behind us, although it's caught us up, it's struggling as well. Try another gear now. Yeah, that could have been embarrassing there. Very easy to get caught out with these bends and dips in the road. I think you lose your sense of speed with all this white snow around. Definitely going downhill, we need to get the anchors on. Traffic up ahead. This is another one that's going to catch us out. So we're now on the Dalton Highway. We've got the delineators which we've been waiting on. That's a red marking post at the side of the road to show you where the road is. Because for the most part so far we haven't had any guidance as to where the road is. Now we're okay as long as the weather holds off. We came through some snow early on when we first started this part of the trip on the video, and it cleared up and we've had a bit of sunshine, a bit of low winter sunshine, and it is 12:38 in game time in the afternoon. And I would say our average speed is probably about between 35 and 40 mile an hour if we're lucky, which is why we're still showing 3 hours and 36 minutes, I think, to complete this trip. But we won't be doing it in this video because that's far too long. We're going to hopefully get to I don't even know whether there's so much in the way of towns on this route. It's mostly just pump stations. Well, the Alaskan oil line, I think. It looks like a truck up ahead of us, struggling. We might catch him up, we might not. Now you see what I mean about that ditch at the side of the road? That's where I say I went off twice in previous incarnations of this match and this map, and once you get in there you ain't getting out. That's why you've got to be careful going down these corners. There's a lot of drop downs and a lot of bends that drop off quite sharply, and the truck, if you start going in too fast to those corners, you will lose traction because the physics have been changed slightly for this map, and you will slide into a corner if you're going too quick, which is not easy to recover when you've got maybe 25 tons of machinery in the back of your truck on a trailer. Now, when we last looked at the map, we could see that there was nothing on the map between us and the next place we are likely to maybe even stop at. Now, where the hell are we? We're well past there, I know that. We need to zoom in and then just follow the road. Well, there we are. So we're there. And we have got all the way up to there to go. I don't even think we're going to make it there because that's still too far. So we might just have to park up at the side of the road like we did before on our start of this journey, which we did last night before we decided to stream it. These delineators certainly make your life a lot easier when trying to follow the road. You can see the road hasn't got any definition whatsoever. Just looks like a white bit of ground that we're actually driving on. Careful again. Just ease the brakes down slightly. Now there was a truck in front of us, unless it's disappeared or unless it's pulled away from us. Again, oh shit. Now even with the delineators I've driven off the bloody road. That's what can happen. Again, managed to pull back from almost disaster. wrong side of the road. This must be terrible to drive at night time. You find your eyes are flitting from side to side to try and see where the markers are. And if you take your eye on it for 1 minute, then you'll lose it and end up off-road, like I did a minute ago. A patch with no snow on it. That's too fast. Where's the road? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Do you believe me now when I say it isn't easy? Just one slight distraction or whatever, and you know, going into that corner there too fast. Doubt he'll pull out and go past us. Well, you'll have to rethink that because that car was coming in the opposite lane. But he should be by. Passing us by in a minute or so now. Where the hell? That's it again. I can just imagine trying to drive this part of the road with a blizzard going. The wrong way. That's the road there. This is getting confusing. No other vehicles behind us. We've 128 miles to go now. Nothing behind us, so not holding up traffic. Bus trying to pass us there. Estimated time of arrival Monday 4:10 p.m. So it's 12:54 at the moment. Almost 5 to 1. We've got 1% damage to the trailer. Now where the hell's the thing that tells us? Right, that's the one I'm looking for. We have to reach there by Monday 6 p.m. So I think we should do that, provided we don't have a disaster. Now the stream has been going for an hour and 53 minutes. And that includes that little interlude, inadvertent interlude that we had. But what I'm intending to do is, when I get to 2 hours, I'm intended to stop. Now, it might be slightly before that, it just depends on whether we find somewhere nice to park up. Not that I think there is any resting places along here. Just where we can park up and then quit the stream from then. Now, where the hell's the road going again? We're running away too quick here. And 23 miles to go, and it's telling us that should take approximately about three and a quarter hours. So that would mean arriving around about 5 p.m. game time, and it's just short of 1 p.m. game time at the moment. Changed slightly. That would mean that within those 2 hours, I think we had 188 miles to go when we started this stream. We've now got 122, so that would be 100, what was that, 66 miles or something we've done? No, yeah, that's about right. Now within 2 hours that would be about an average speed of about, what, 33 miles an hour, which doesn't surprise me considering the amount of climbs we have to do. something going up the climb. Let's get the foot down a bit. Looks like the weather's closing in again. It definitely looks like it up ahead. And I think what we'll do is we're just on the 2-hour mark. Now that we're at the top of this climb, I think we will pull in beside the delineators, get the truck off the road, and see if he can get past us. Yes, he can. And we will call it quits here, guys, and we'll continue this again some other day. And until then, we will see you again sometime.